Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We are in Chapter 1, Lesson 5, Solving Equations with Distribution and Combining Like Terms. Now, let's just start with distribution. You know, when you're doing order of operations, you're supposed to do what's in the parentheses first. So if this was just order of operations, 1 minus 7 is negative 6. So you would do 3 times negative 6 and get negative 18. But with distribution, you would do it this way. 3 times 1 minus 7, you would do 3 times 1, which of course would be 3, and 3 times 7 minus 21. 3 minus 21, still negative 18. Now I got the same answer, only this way I multiplied first, then I subtracted. With this one, I subtracted first, then I multiplied. That's interesting. That's what distribution does. So let's distribute. For distribution, that's the property that says what's outside the parentheses times every term in the parentheses. So 4 times x and 4 times negative and 4 times 5. 4 times x, 4x, because the number next to a letter is multiply, minus 4 times 5 is 20. For this one, ew, cuties, it's got a decimal. Low stress math. Use your calculator if you don't know the answers. 2 and 5/10 times 2. I'm going to tell you a little trick. When it's 5/10, I think of it as like $2.50. If I have $2.50 times 2, that's $5. And that's my head. But you can use a calculator. There's no reason not to. So 2 and 5/10 times 2 is 5 minus 2 and 5/10 times 4. 4 is twice 2. Twice 5 is 10x. Now let's go back and check the Bono brain against some math. 2 and 5/10 times 2. Look at that. It's 5. 2 and 5/10 times 4. Still 10. I'm just saying. All right, now when there's a 1 on top and a number on the bottom, you multiply the top of the fraction times the number. So it would be 1 times 2 and keep the denominator. 1 times x and keep the denominator. So 1 times 2, 2 over 5, plus 1 times x, x over 5. See? Not so bad. I'm just saying. You can do this. Low stress math. Not trying to make it hard. Distribute. Multiply the number in front of the parentheses to both terms inside the parentheses. That should actually say all terms inside with 2 times x, 2x, plus 2 times 4, minus 6x equals 12. Combine like terms on one side of the equal sign. Oh, well, that means to change this to plus negative 6. Remember, when the signs are different, you subtract. 6 minus 2, 4. 6 is larger than 2. 6 is negative. Negative 4x. No friend for the 8, so plus 8 equals 12. Identify the variable, x, and then move the constant using inverse operations. So here we go. Negative 4x plus 8 equals 12. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. And this becomes 0. I get negative 4x equals 12 minus 8 is 4. Okay, divide by the coefficient. The coefficient is the number in front of the variable. The number in front of the variable is negative 4, so both sides divided by negative 4. Negative divided by negative is positive 1. X equals 4 divided by 4 is 1. The signs are different, so it's negative 1. Whee! Perfect. Now I have to check it because the directions say to check it. So I go back to the absolute original equation on the top that says 2 times, where the x's goes negative 1, plus 4, minus 6 times negative 1 equals 12. I'm going to put all of this in my calculator. Because there's no reason to fight this good fight. I'm going to hit clear. I'm going to slide this over so you can see my calculator. And I'm going to make sure that this is exactly what shows up in my calculator. 2 parentheses, negative 1 plus 4, close the parentheses, minus 6 parentheses, negative 1 parentheses. Double check that it looks exactly the same. And it does. And when I hit enter, it's 12. So now, 12 equals 12, and it checks. Yay! It's a beautiful thing. So, on to the next page, which is checkpoint 1, which is you. Turn off the video and try these 2 problems. Don't worry, I'll wait for you. Did you turn off the video? All right, you're back. Okay. You can't learn math unless you do math. Yeah, I know how to use your calculator helps too. All right, distribution. Nothing happens to the 12 on this side. It's not in the parentheses and the equal sign. But this 12, that's what I'm distributing. 12 times 2, 24, minus 12 times x, 12x. That minus sign goes with the 12x. I'm going to rewrite that as plus negative 12. I'm doing that to make it obvious that this 24 is positive. It's the 12x that's negative. That minus sign goes with the 12x. It doesn't go with the 24. Be careful. Minus 24 from both sides. That becomes 0. And 12 minus 24 is negative 12. That negative sign stays with the 12x, negative 12x. Divide both sides by negative 12. And becomes 1 equals 1. 1 equals 1x. So x equals 1. Positive 1. And that makes sense, because 12 is equal to 12. 2 minus 1 is 1. 12 times 1 is 12. It does make sense. Go back. Check yourself. All right, this side. 3 times x, 3x, plus 3 times 4 is 12. And none of this is in the parentheses, so you just write it down the way you see it. Combine like terms. 3x plus 5x is 8x, plus 12 equals 28, minus 12 from both sides, and x equals 16. Oh, sorry, 8x equals 16. Look at me. Bad Bono. Divide both sides by 8, and x equals 2. Not too bad. All right, the next one. Take a breath. It's not that bad. You can do this. It's just math. Here we go. The 5x has nothing to do with the parentheses, so we're just going to write that down. And the plus, nothing to do either. But 4 times x, 4x. 4 times 3, minus 12, equals 15. All right, combine like terms. 5x plus 4x, 9x, minus 12 equals 15. Add 12 to both sides, and 9x equals 27. Divide both sides by 9, and x equals 3. Remember before when I made an A that looked like a 9? Now I'm making a 9 that looks like an A. I have really got to be more careful when I write my numbers down and my letters. All right, the last one on this page. Remember, that 4x, it's nothing to do with the distribution. Just copy it down, 4x plus, wait a second, there's no number there to distribute. That's weird. But you know, in front of every parenthesis is a 1, so I'm going to distribute that. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 minus 7x equals 20. So I distributed an imaginary 1. That's not too bad. Okay, 4x minus 7x. Same as plus and negative. The signs are different, so you subtract 3x. 7 is larger than 4. 7 is negative. Negative 3x. Plus 5 equals 20. Okay. Minus 5 from both sides. Negative 3x equals 15. Divide both sides by 3. Sorry, divide both sides by negative 3. Be careful. And x equals negative 5. Put a box around it, because that's a little gift. Now, we're at another checkpoint. Go ahead, turn the video off and do those 2 problems. You have to do math to get better at math. You learn from your mistakes, etc. You did them? Yay! Okay. So now we're going to do them together. You might notice that this first one, A, is much like the first practice problem we just did. And B is like the second practice problem we did. So nothing happens with the negative 5y. But it's this 2 I'm distributing. 2 times y, 2y minus 2 times 1, 2. And the other side, that's not in the parentheses either, so that just gets written down. Negative 5 and 2, the signs are different, so you subtract and get 3y. 5 is larger than 2, it's negative, so negative 3y minus 2 equals 7. The inverse of minus 2, plus 2 on both sides. Negative 3y equals 9. Divide both sides by negative 3. And y equals negative 3. Not bad. All right, put a 1 in front because that's what you're going to distribute. 1 times 2 and 1 times 8. So 6x, nothing happens with that, plus 1 times 2, 2, minus 1 times 8, 8x equals 16. Now I'm looking at 6x minus 8x. The signs are different. 8 minus 6 is 2. 8's larger than 6, negative 2x. And nothing happens with those 2. Plus 2 equals 16. Minus 2 from both sides. Negative 2x equals 14. Divide both sides by negative 2. And x equals negative 7. I'll put it over here. Put a box around that. Beautiful. And now the part that's going to make you think. I know. You don't want to think right now, but we're going to think. Here we go. There are a million different ways to do this problem, but I like to use the least common denominator part. So, LCD equals 4. So I'm going to multiply everybody times 4. Now I'm going to pretend this whole thing is just one term for now, because it's 1/4 times both of these things. So 4 times 12 is 48 equals 4 times 1/4. Remember, it's 4 times 1 divided by 4. So that's just going to cancel. And this part, the thing in parentheses, don't do anything to that. Just leave it alone. It's just going to stay 2 minus x. Trust me on this. So 48 equals 1 times, now this is 1 times 2, 1 times x equals 2 plus negative 1x. Because 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times negative x, negative 1x. And I changed my minus to plus and negative because it's next to an x, and that just makes it easier for me. All right, now this whole thing, I'm putting up here. 48 equals 2 plus negative 1x. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. And 46 equals negative 1x. I don't want a negative x, so I have to divide both sides by negative 1. Negative 1, negative 1. And I get negative 46 equals x. And it's backwards, so just flip it over. X equals negative 46. Not too bad. All right, turn off the video and do the next 2 problems yourself. You got this. I know you got this. And go. I really hope you tried the problems. Remember, when you're multiplying by the least common denominator, you're not multiplying by what's in the parentheses. You're multiplying by what's in front of the parentheses. You're multiplying by what's not in the parentheses. But what's the least common denominator here? 2. 2 times 1/2. Remember, it's going to be 2 times 1 over 2. And nothing happens to the 4x plus 3. That parenthesis, just leave her alone. Equals, skip the parenthesis and come over to here. 2 times 46 is 92. All right, that's going to cancel out. 1 times 4x is 4x. 1 times 3 plus 3 equals 92. Let's see. Did I do that right? I don't think I did, but let's check. All right, come on. Don't lose me now, calculator. All right, here we go. 2 times 92. Now look, I did the wrong thing. 2 times 46. Yep, it is 92. Okay. Minus 3, minus 3. 4x equals 89. Divide both sides by 4. And I'm going to get x equals, now listen, 89 divided by 4 is 24.25. Oh, 24.25. That is 22.25. That's actually 22 1/2. Or you could leave it as the fraction, x equals 89 over 4. I like this one. I don't know. It could be either of those. All right. Least common denominator here is 3. So remember, 3 times 1/3. Skip the parentheses. 3 times 8x and 3 times 17. 3 times 1 over 3. Leave the parenthesis alone. 6x minus 3. Plus 3 times, what's 3 times 8? 24x equals 3 times 17 Oh dear calculator, what's 3 times 17? Ugh. Okay, not 3 divided by 17, Bono. 3 times 17 is, let's see, what is that? 51. Here we go. Okay, that cancels. 1 times 6x, 6x. 1 times negative 3 minus 3 plus 24x equals 51. Combine like terms, 6x plus 24x is 30x minus 3 equals 51. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. $30x equals 30x, Bono, please be careful. 30x equals 54. Divide both sides by 30. And let's see what that looks like in here. 54 over 30 is 9 over 5. So x equals 9 over 5, or it could be x equals 1 4/5. Again, I'm inclined to go with the mixed number, but it doesn't really matter. You can do this step by step, one little part at a time. Okay, homework for tonight. Woohoo! Independent practice. Lesson 5. These are no problem. You got it. These you can do. Have faith in you. The challenge, well, it's kind of a review. So go back and review a little. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.